Up everyone, welcome back to the Hacksmarter Twitch channel or my YouTube channel. For those of you on Twitch, you know that I literally just said that, but I forgot to hit record for the people on YouTube. Now we are recording and we are live on Twitch. That is the downside as opposed to being the one person streaming and doing the production and trying to keep my eye on the chat and all that good stuff. But hey, we are gonna do some hacking. My kids are actually at my in-laws, so usually I'm hanging out with my kids on a Saturday at this time, but they're not here. And of course, like a normal person, when your kids are gone, what do? Well, we study because I don't have a life. And so we are gonna take this time, do some hacking. I actually do not know how long I have. I might have anywhere from 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. We'll just kind of stream until I hear the door open and my kids come inside. Then I'm going to go hang out with them. But for the meantime, I can hang out with you guys. We are going to keep working on what we started last Wednesday, I think is what it was. We started it's called super secret tip. Based on what I can see, it's server-side template injection, but we don't quite have the user flag. We've just done our basic enumeration. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen. Here we are. This is the room that we are working on. I'm not going to recap the room since I did it on Wednesday, but I will pull over my notes to remind you and remind me of kind of where we've been. So if we look at the overall in-map scan, we have port 22 open, which is SSH, and then we have this port 7777 that took a while. I don't think my in-map ever really found it. It's an uncommon port. It would have eventually found it, but I got sick of waiting, so I asked the people in the chat, yo, what port am I missing? But here it is, port 777, and we began enumerating this port. A few things that stood out to me was it's Python, so think Flask type things. And then we had this description, SSTI, server-side template injection is wonderful. So that's the hint that, hey, at some point in time, we are going to do server-side template injection. We did GoBuster on the directories. We found two interesting directories, one called Cloud, where we were somehow able to download different files, but only some of them worked. I tried doing LFI and such like that, but it didn't work properly. And then we have this debugger that we thought maybe was a WorkZerg debugger, if I'm saying that right, that takes a pin, but I don't think it is, because that debugger, if you log in 10 times invalid, it will lock you out. And I just tried to log in a bunch of times to see what would happen. So I think we have to somehow get these passwords up here, somehow access these passwords. And if we can access those passwords, then we can maybe use this debugger. And this looks like server-side template injection. Generally a good way to test is a multiplication, sometimes 7 times 7 within 2 curly brackets on both sides of it, or 2 curly braces. So this kind of looks like it's going to be server-side template injection. And then when we download our templates.py, it is from Flask import hashlib import OS. So that's templates.py. That is something we were able to read. Let's go ahead and see if we can go back to that and just get to where we left off. The first thing I need to do is update my Etsy host real quick. Oh, and I should also probably connect to the VPN. That would probably be a good spot to go. I have Cato open right there. Let's go ahead and get on the TryHackMe VPN. It would be, let's see, TryHackMe is just my name, right? I think it's this one. Okay, beautiful. So now we're on the VPN. And let's go and open another new tab. We'll just call this our terminal and sudo nano Etsy hosts. Type in our password. And we need to go ahead and grab this IP. Do I have it on here? I don't know what I called it. Oh, secret.thm. I bet that's what I called it. Let's update this IP. There we go. Ping secret. Okay, so far so good. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and throw this over to the side. We got Cato right here. Secret.thm 777. Okay, cool. So this is the website, and then we had those 2 pages, debug, and then I think cloud. Jeez, I just ate Subway, y'all. I feel the need to cough now. Meatball marinara sub, though, was really good. Okay, so this is kind of where we left off on Wednesday. I just want to see if I can do some of these requests again. So I think, like, if we do templates.py and intercept, turn this on, and if we just do download and throw this over to replay and hit send, Yeah, so we have that. So then we could, we were trying LFI. I originally thought like this looks like LFI to me or some type of command injection, but I believe I tried most of that on Wednesday and I couldn't get it to work. So let's just see if we can Google like templates.py file. Maybe with Flask, right? Templates.py file. See, I was thinking app.py. Did I try app.py? No, okay, so app.py doesn't work. I might just have to read some Flask documentation. We know it's a Flask web app. So here's how it's set up. Index, student. I don't think that's going to help us. So this is just saying how templates work. I'm just wondering if there's other files in that like default Flask folder that might have some interesting credentials for us. Here we can see how it's using templates. So if we can, inject directly into a template, that's where we're going to get template injection from. Let's ask our assistant. Let's just ask that. They do not have any default files. That's helpful. However, the standard structure of a Flask application includes a main application file, usually named app.py, and I can't read that, or main.py. We can try that. Okay. Shoot. I might have to look at a walkthrough just to get past this little hurdle right here. Pretty sure this is the way forward. I'm just wondering what the heck am I missing. Let me look at a few of these other files though before we do that. You can give me a hint. Okay, wait for the hint. Okay, I'll tell you when I'm ready for the hint. Let me try a few things on my own quick, and then I'll be ready for the hint. I'm just trying to remember which files I'm able to download. So stand by, and I might ask for that hint. Is secret? Can I see secret.txt? I'm guessing no. Could we? Let me just think for a second. If I do like let me try this once and then I'll be ready for the hint. I want to see if I just get like a list of file names. I want the actual files themselves though. I suppose I could. Common files, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, I could do some sweet bash scripting and try to pull out the files with like awk or whatever. Oh, that's not that helpful. Yeah, I guess none of those files are going to be helpful. I don't think there's a config. It's not going to be config.php in a Python web app. We have logs, user-specific files. I don't think it's be poisoning. Almost ready for the hint, but hang tight 1 second. So this is the only annoying part of this box, sure. Yeah, it's probably something simple too. I'm pretty sure, like my guess is it's going to be a file here that we're able to read because of how it's making this post request. I'm just not sure which file I'm looking for. I thought maybe it would be like a Flask default file, like app.py. Let me actually look back at my notes one more time. I really think it'd be that. See if there's any hints here. Do 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 do. All right, dude, I'm ready for your hint. Or lady. I don't know if you're a boy or a girl. But I'm ready for your hint because I don't know what the freaking thing I'm looking for. Oh, am I close? Okay, maybe I'm not ready for your hint then. Give me a second. Let me... Okay, gotcha. So I am doing the right thing. Get a common file list. Okay, so my thinking is right. I just need to find the right list. Hey, okay, this is what I was looking for. Something like this. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Plus it'll show, we got 4,000 files here. It'll show the power of Cato. Let me go to TryHackMe, CD super secret tip, and we'll do nano files.txt. Don't know if that's going to be an overkill, but who cares? And we'll go to files right here, browse, home, TryHackMe, super secret tip, files. And now what we're going to do is take this guy and we're going to send it to automate. I'm going to mark that. And I want to throw files.txt at it. And because I know it's big, let's just increase the number of workers to 40. Whoops. Need to turn numlock on apparently. And let's go ahead and hit start. Okay, OSCP tips. Yeah, I'll answer that while we wait for this to run through its thing. So I made a video actually documenting my entire OSCP studying experience. You can find it on YouTube. If you just Google like I think I call it how I passed the OSCP in 8 hours on my first attempt or something like that. Biggest thing is enumeration. I think OSCP, I always viewed it as this like incredibly difficult certification that only the elite of the elite hackers are able to pass, but it really is entry level. It's the machines are easier in my opinion than like easy machines on Hack the Box. But the difficult part is the mind game. The fact that you have 24 hours to get enough points, another 24 hours to write the report. So honestly, the biggest hurdle is the mental side of it, staying relaxed. And even when I went into the OSCP, my goal wasn't even a pass. My goal was just to have fun and to enjoy the experience. Thankfully, I did pass, and I was actually stuck for the first 5 hours of my exam. Almost gave up. Actually went upstairs and told my wife, like, okay, I'm picking a different career again. Obviously, pen testing is not for me. So stuck for the first 5 hours of the exam. Figured out where I was stuck at, finished that, and then actually got to 80 points within 3 hours. So in some ways, I passed the OSCP in 3 hours. But a lot of it's a mind game. If you watch my video on YouTube, there'll be more details there. Okay, I just want to point out to you guys, even the free version of Cato can do what I just did here. If you use Burp Suite Community Edition, there is Intruder, but Intruder is rate limited. This would take forever. You can see Cato just went through our over 4,700 payloads in what was that, a minute, 2 minutes? Even the free version of Cato can do that. So let's go ahead and sort this by length. Oh no, that's not good. Let's look at our request. Dang it. Maybe it's because it doesn't have the extensions on the end. Why would it not have? Oh no, it does have the extensions. So I know I'm doing the right thing, but it's a little bit silly to me to spend all this time just trying to find the specific freaking file they're looking for, unless there's something in my enumeration that I am missing. Do these not have... Yeah, a lot of these don't have file extensions. Let me try one more. Let's try a few of these, since Cato does it so fast. It's really silly. Need the exact one with the right extension. Freaking stupid. Okay, I'm going to try a few more, but honestly, I'm just going to look at a walkthrough up to that part then, because this is the part of CTFs I don't like. Where it's something... Like at this point, you're not learning anything, in my opinion. Some people like the more puzzly side of things as CTS, but I don't. What's going on here? What am I doing? Common files? This doesn't actually look helpful. Oh, those are just common credentials. All right. Yo, the Flame, can you just tell us what the file name is? I don't want to look at a walkthrough and see too much. If you know the file name, just post in the chat. Source.py. Now, why? Am I missing something in my enumeration? Like, should I have known that? Is that something to do with Flask? That's what I'm going to figure out. Let's see first if it works. Yeah, sure enough, it is source.py. Okay, but honestly, before I even read the results, I want to understand how I was supposed to find that besides spraying a bunch of freaking things at it. Let me just Google source.py and Flask. So did they just rename app.py to source.py just to be freaking cute? Honestly. So here's something here. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to assume they were trying to be cute. Because generally with a Flask app, if you have any type of LFI, what you're looking for is app.py, because app.py is kind of like where configurations and things are stored. So I think the creator of this box wanted to, I don't know, make it a little more difficult, but needlessly difficult in my opinion, and make it source.py. I suppose the only way you would find this is if you happen to find source.py in a list of common files, but I don't think you would, because I don't think it's a common file. You'd almost have to take a list of common names, then use like bash to append .py onto all of them and make your own list. But really that's out of scope in my opinion for something like a CTF. That's needlessly guessing. I do want to see though if I'm missing something. Hey robot, is source.py a common file in a Flask web app? Oh, so you do. You need a join extension and common word. Okay. So my feedback, I don't know if the room creator ever watches this. I'm sure the rest of the room is awesome, but my feedback would just leave it at app.py. It makes it a lot more realistic. Most organizations aren't updating app.py for security through obscurity. Just leave it at app.py, because then you're actually teaching the user what to look for on a Flask app if you get LFI. In my humble opinion, chat, if you disagree, feel free to tell me I'm dumb, but those are my thoughts. Now, let's go ahead and look at what we have here. I'm actually just going to copy it out of here and we'll drop it into our OneNote. Hey, great playlist on THM Attack and Defense. Thank you for posting YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here, my friend. Apparently, the file is source.py, which I think is the box creator renaming app.py for some reason. Okay. So from Flask import, and we see the Python libraries is importing, and this really is just the app.py from what I can see. So we have the app secret key, and we're setting it to a random 32 variable. The password is open secret tip.txt, and then it's reading it line by line. Okay, so this is where the password is located at. For the debug application. So I'm guessing I can use that cloud thing to download super secret tip.txt, possibly, but we'll just continue to read through this. And so now we're defining illegal characters check. So this is input. Okay, so this must be if you do illegal characters on the application. It says, hey, this isn't going to work. And then we have the cloud. This is the endpoint that we were just messing at. It takes two types of requests, get or post, and then it's doing a download request. So if the request method equals get, return cloud.html, else, so if it's post, then request form download. And then if the download is source.py, so it's hard-coded in there, if it's source.py, then return that as an attachment. If the download is .text, so that means you can download some of that stuff. Okay, blah, blah. And now here's debug. This is what I'm interested in because this is what is next. So what does debug do? Okay, so we're defining a debug function, and then we're setting a variable called debug. So we're getting parameters, user password, and we're going to get the password. If not user password or not debug, return render template debug.html and illegal characters if results is true. So it's checking for illegal characters on the debug as well. So if we do one of those characters on the debug, it's going to say, hey, those characters aren't allowed. I am not very experienced with encryption, so here you go. Okay, so we have our encrypted password. How are we encrypting the password? Well, we have our string debug password get encrypted user password. If encrypted password does not equal password, return the template error wrong password, blah, blah. Debug result. Oh, is that a new URL? So we have debug result. It's a GET request. If not IP, check IP request, return everything made in home. We don't like intruders. So is it looking for localhost there? So are we doing interesting server-side template injection to hit the debug result endpoint as a local host or something like that, like doing a file read there? Debug result, if not debug. Testing, don't forget to remove for security reasons. Open, read, return, debug here, success, true, true. Okay, interesting. Well, let's go ahead and do this first. I think this works, and then we'll just decode that. If I can copy it from hex or whatever that is. Yeah, of course allow, silly. Mining some Bitcoin Cash. Straight cash on me. Am I not doing that right? It's hex, isn't it? It's like a new line. Oh, wait. What? I'm overthinking this. Let's just do this. We could just run this in Python. Right? I'll pull up my notes. Password.py. Oh. Okay, I guess not. Maybe I need to look at the code. Password equals string, open, secret tip, read line, and then strip and print password. Is that the actual password? I don't think so, right? It's hex. I mean, it looks like hex. Yeah, hex. Oh, is it because it's encrypted? Here, let's just send this whole code to our robot friend. I'm kind of confused right now. What? It is. It is definitely. It is definitely in that robot. Have an argue with ChatGPT. That's not what I'm trying to do. I mean, okay, I can try that, but it's not going to work. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure, robot. What am I missing, guys? Let me look at the code again. Encrypted pass equals string. Debug password. Password for debug is what I called it, so that's my comment. Check the debug result. He said to keep it out of prod. Good point. It would just be debug result.html. Let's try that. That's a good point. That is something I didn't check. I mean, I noted it, but didn't look at it yet. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what that is. What am I missing? So I feel like you can't read debug result unless you're on localhost, which if we can figure out server-side template injection, then we could use that to do that exact thing, to read debug result. Debug equals session.get debug. Or if we have a valid session on the debug thing, then it will work. Like, this is clearly the password, right? Gosh, I'm missing something freaking obvious. I always get frustrated at this point. Guys have any hints? Otherwise, I'm going to look at a walkthrough. This is the password somehow, but I'm not sure how to decrypt it or freaking read it. It's just in hex. It's the encrypted password. So how the frick do I decrypt it? Encrypted pass equals the debug password get encrypted. Like, all right, whatever. I'm looking at a walkthrough. Wasting my time. Hopefully only far enough that I'm no longer stuck, but freaking Medium and your stupid ads, my goodness. Blah, blah, blah. We already know all this. Hold up. If you search this API, really? Okay, actually, we need to pause here because I'm still puzzled on the source.py. Maybe I need to take back what I said. Maybe there's logic behind it. No, there's not. This walkthrough is stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There's no, if you search this, you'll find the source.py. No, you won't. Anyone agree with this? Send me a link. And how did you use wfuzz to find this file? Did you make a word list and then append .py onto the end of every word? Because it's to use wfuzz, you need a word list. I think they looked at a walkthrough and then explained this is how they found it. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. If you wrote this walkthrough, I apologize. Oh, that's how they did it. So they did fuzz.py and then okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, we got that. Oh, do we need to look at those files? Wow. There's no way I would have done that. Okay, well, let's see if we can understand it ourselves, even with the walkthrough. So he's going based off of this cloud thing. If the request method equals get, which we're doing a post, so then we're getting the download form. If it's source.py, then return source.py. If the download. So if the downloaded file equals or ends in .text, print download and then download, return send from directory. So, and he's getting these files, ip.py and debug password.py. Am I blind? Where's ip.py? Is it somewhere in here? Oh, I see. The libraries is what he's referring to. These right here. Oops, debug password and .py. And then those are the illegal characters, so he's just doing like the no byte thing. Geez, that's difficult, guys. I would not have gotten that personally. I mean, obviously, you guys are watching me. I didn't get it. I would have sat here the rest of the day trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a screenshot of that. Actually, I need to open Lightshot, I think. So this is ip.py right there, and debug password.py will be the next one we want to grab. Yeah, I tried looking how common source.py is in bruh. Okay, let's pull this up. Oh yeah, dude, it like basically doesn't exist. Yeah, that's... Oh, is there 400 repos? I only see one. Anyways. So here's our encryption. Wait, is that the password? AHAM? Yeah, I guess eventually we'd find it by Google, you know. He didn't do it though. Like he says you could find it, but he used wfuff and just used .py. So yeah, I think that's the key. So if we just put the password in, yeah, it does feel troll, that's for sure. Let's see if ChatGPT can do this for us. Between two byte arrays containing the user's password in the byte array AHAM. Bit level. I tried to magic it on CyberChef. So how would ChatGPT do it? Since the getEncrypted function uses a basic XOR, it is relatively simple to decrypt. Decrypt the password simply need to perform the XOR operation between the encrypted password and the same XOR key, which is that. All right, let's see if this works. So that's that. Oh, my bad. There it is. And there's the password for the debug, I would think. And I should drop in the sweet script ChatGPT gave us. No, not like that. So we'll do that. Okay, so the password is aham debug. All right, well, we're at least getting somewhere now. Let's go ahead and just see if that works now on that debug. And so does that go to the debug HTML results or whatever? What was it? Debug results? Let me look at my notes again. Debug results, right? Debug result, no S. Okay, so we can't quite access that. If we look at that script, host IP 127 define check IP try X forwarded 4. Oh, can we just add X forwarded 4 then? It's just looking for X forwarded 4. So if we just add that to our request, we should be able to actually access that. Right? At least that works in my head. So if I actually go like this, intercept. Hey, I was right. Okay, cool. So that works. Let me actually add that to my notes real quick. We'll just throw it to replay. Oh. It did just work. Did I do the wrong one that time? X forwarded 4. Well, isn't that odd? Yeah, okay, that works. Oh, well, whatever. We can at least navigate to it that way. Oh, do I have a typo? Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate it. What up, Destiny? Good to see you as well, my friend. Okay, so we at least have that documented now. Now we can work on the server-side template injection. At least I'm pretty sure. So if we do like, and what the heck was the dude's password? Aham debug. Just send that to repeater so we can replay it. So we're doing that. If I hit send, okay. Debug statement executed. I wish, gosh, I can't type. Cato had a way I could just automatically do that. Burp, I could automatically put that in there, I believe. Okay, look at that. So we have confirmed server-side template injection. So let's grab a screenshot. Let's go like this. That. And then we have 49 there. So it's probably Jinja or whatever it's called. Let me, we can close that out. STI hack tricks. Maybe I should turn off that. Sure, what we could do. Well, yeah, we'll do it. Actually, I'm gonna pull this up on Chrome so I don't have to deal with the proxy stopping it. So what is server-side template injection? Blah, blah, blah. So we know this works. It's going to be Jinja, I think. We could see if we can read exploits. Okay, let's go to Python. Not Jinjava. I think Jinja or whatever is Python. Do 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 do. How many are there? Python. This is what I think it is. So Jinja is a full-featured template engine for Python. It has full Unicode support and optional integrated sandbox, widely used and BSD licensed. So can we actually get the secret key? Because I saw that in the one thing. Let's just try that for fun. Go through. Oh, no, okay, so that didn't go through. That's fine. Here's what I really want is RCE. So RCE not dependent from built-ins or in the shortest versions. Let's just try all of these. See if any of them work. All right, now if we go to replay, send this to automate, And we'll go ahead and mark this. Why are they different in length here? Oh my goodness. Oh, it didn't do anything. I'm really sick of typing this. Gosh. Didn't do anything. Yeah, it's definitely finicky. Let me think about what I might be doing wrong here. Let me just do it manually here. If maybe it's not URL encoding it for some reason automatically, that almost seems to be the problem. If I do just one of these, just make sure it's not my kids like, hey, we're on our way. 1 second. Kids be home around 4. Okay, we got time. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I think it's not URL encoding. I think that's what's breaking it, personally. Because see, now it is. Oh, illegal characters. So I remember we have illegal characters. Thank you, my friend. From Germany. That's awesome. Remember there's certain illegal characters we can't use? Let's see. Where were they at? These. Those are our illegal characters. So that's going to be a slight problem. Yeah, good idea. We could hex encode them. Let's see if we can get an actual shell. Well, I think URL encoding it might actually introduce some of those characters. I just want to pull these out so I can see them. So our illegal characters are that, and percentage sign. Right? Some SSTI without those characters. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's see if we can do some basic stuff. So I think it's Jinjum. Let's see what we all have. Kato, easy and simple, then burp. Kato's still a work in progress, so it's missing some of those features. For my actual job, I use Burp Suite Pro, but just when I stream, I use Kato because I think it's more accessible to people because Community Edition is so rate limited on things. Let's begin looking at the basic injection. And if we look at our bad characters list, so it's a single comma. Oh no, yeah, it'd be the single comma, not the double comma. So this would work, right? Yeah, grab this password and just pull it down too. Can we execute hex stuff by SystemOS and Python? Just asking. No idea. I'd assume so, because you could put it in the command. I just want to see if that worked at all. And then, of course, x forwarded for 127.0.0.1. Okay, so that worked. All right, so we for sure know is Jinga. Read remote file. This is what I want to know if I'm able to do. Now, these we can't use, those characters, but we can just change them. I think this payload would work if we change it to Etsy password to see if we can read Etsy password. Okay. That doesn't have any of the banned characters, right? Oh, that requires some manual stuff for that 40 parameter. Well, let's just try it and see what happens. Shoot, do I have Kato on? Okay, well it didn't error out saying bad character, so that's a good sign. Wonder if there's a way in Kato that I can set this to be automatic. I'm sure I typed it wrong. What was my typo that time? Did I break it? No, okay. Forwarded 4. Like that. Uh-oh. Did I break the box with that payload? No, don't do that. I feel like I may have broke the box, guys. Oh, no, okay, I didn't break it. Okay. Okay. We're still in it. How about this one? This doesn't have any of those weird characters. Let's try this payload. Doesn't have any banned characters from what I can see. Let's try that. All right. Hey, we have file read. So let's grab a screenshot of that for our notes and get our payload that we used is right here, just so we have it for our notes. I don't want to copy it like that. And we'll just throw it in a table because that's the ghetto way of doing a code block. Okay, so we have file read, so there's a few ways that we can approach this now. Since SSH is enabled, we might be able to read like an SSH key in one of these folders. So I'm thinking like, we have 2 users here, right? F30s seems to be an actual user with the bin bash. That's just a weird name. And AHAM. But AHAM is the debug that we're using. So I'm thinking like if we do home, AHAM, SSH, ID, RSA, something like that. And then we'll try it on F30s as well. We could also just go for straight RCE, but I'm curious if this works. Then we get an SSH connection. Where's the password? Right here. Let's try this, and then if this doesn't work, we'll try to get RCE. X forwarded 4. I'm going to get really good at typing that, guys. Okay, nope, so that breaks it. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So I wonder, I didn't do anything weird with my code. So if the file doesn't exist, I wonder if it just throws that error. That's how it works in my head right now. Do 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 do. X forwarded 4.127.0.0.1 forward. Okay. All right, I will get RCE, guys, but I'm still want to play with this. I want to know which user I'm supposed to be. So if I go like home F30 is flag.text, or is it user.text? Let's just try that for funskis. Yeah, Astrolight is correct. They're not using that on you, my friend. Bruh, I am home. What are you talking about, you freaking... You guys probably see my typos and just laughing at me. Okay, that doesn't work. All right. Okay, we're gonna stop playing around with that and see if we can get RCE. So we could write into a file. I want to get RCE though. We could write a shell into a file, make it executable, and execute it. We might have an issue though with the so-called illegal characters. Here's what I want to do. It's going to be something like this, but then we'll get a shell instead. Let me just see if I can get output from this first. We have to adjust it though, so we're not hitting those illegal characters. So if we change these. Let's see if we can figure out who we are with this. Debug. Did it go through? Yeah, okay. No, maybe it didn't. Let me do it one more time, just for good measure. Okay. Okay. So we know who we are. We are AHAM. So the user.text must be an AHAM. He must not have an ID RSA file. Oh, but we know that much. So we can add that to our notes. No, not like that. Like that. And where was my code? Right here. Now we should be able to get a shell because I have OS commands working. So now if we do like, thinking even a netcat reverse shell might work. A bash, we could base 64 encode a bash shell and then base 64 decode. I think in my head that works. Here's what I'm thinking. Something like this. Let's see what this looks like. wget, then another command works too. Actually, that honestly sounds simpler. I like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. So let's do that. So if we do like bash reverse shell, we'll just do like the one-liner. Something like that. Oh, there's really no illegal characters in this though, right? Based on that, we might be able to just do this. Oh, is the ampersand illegal? Oh, good call, good call. I obviously can't type. Let me throw this to the side. And we'll do like nano shell 1337.sh. So that's what hackers do. We'll change the port to 1337 and then set RIP 10.13.4.234 like that. Looks good to me. So we have shell.1337 Python 3. And we'll listen. And then our payload is going to look something like I just do that. Slashes aren't illegal characters, right? No. Okay. That works in my head. I'm sure I have something wrong with it, but we'll figure out what's wrong with it once we have it. And we should see it execute. We should see it on our thing when it runs. We shouldn't have to look at the debugger this time. We should see it pull it down. Debug. Dang it. I don't think it worked. Okay, so the wget didn't work. What if we do... Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe wget's not on it. I was thinking we could use netcat to do a similar process. All right. Debug. Forward. Okay, it's there. It didn't like that for some reason, though. I'm thinking we base 64 encode a bash shell and then base 64 decode it. Just trying to remember the exact syntax for all that. Yeah, you could be right. Maybe it didn't like that. Oh, I meant to say reverse shell. Oh, symbol safe shell. What is this witchcraft the flame is posting here? Let's check this out. Yeah, no, I don't think it went through. Oh, shoot, it did. Yo, good call. It actually did go through. Yeah, I had to view it. I don't know why I didn't catch that. Thank you for checking that. Okay, let's actually go back to what we were doing then. Okay, so now, if we do change mod plus x temp shell 1337.sh, the x forwarded is just because in the Python code, it only wants localhost to connect to the debug HTML, and they're just specifying the localhost based on the x forwarded for header, so you can modify that yourself. Thank you, Astrolight. You are my hero. Okay. The amount of times I have to copy these dang passwords, it should just like remember the password after I type it in once. Did I change mod it? Yeah, okay. Let's debug. Okay, now we have to view it so that it actually executes. And we'll do x forwarded for 127.00.1 forward. Okay, so that hopefully made it executable. Might as well keep the commands that I'm doing. So the next one I want to do is just to run it. I think that would just work. I have to do. Try that just for good measure. Oh, I should start a listener. Okay. Ah. Okay, that didn't work. Now we're going to do this. We're going to do let's work backwards and see if make sure it's there for sure. No, it's not there. So it never put it in temp. I wonder what our present directory is. Or is it here? I wonder. Well, okay, let me look at these shells real quick. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, symbol safe shell. Let's try that. If you need a more stable connection. So base64 encode the shell. And then we send it through that way. This might work though. This, oh, that has the ampersand there, so we would need a base64 encode it. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, we'll go back to wget if this doesn't work. I'm thinking if we base64 encode the shell here, I don't think that's a banned character. I always forget which the illegal characters are. No, so I don't think that's an illegal character. So I think this would work. 10.13.4234. Okay, so we have this. Copy that into our notes. So really this is our payload, but we're going to swap out their base 64 with ours. Okay. That works in my head. Will it work in practice? I'm going to say no. It probably won't work in practice, guys, but it works in my head. And that's what matters. I guarantee you it won't work first try, though. Nothing ever works for me first try. It's definitely user error, though. I can 100% say that. I'm always missing something so obvious that it's silly. Like, for example, keeping that on so it doesn't go through. Okay. We got just a little bit of time before my kids come home, so we'll see how far we get. Forward. Ooh, it's pausing. That's a good sign. I'm kind of scared to look at my terminal. Yes. Guys, we have a shell. First try. Yeah, after I just said nothing works for me, first try. Okay, so let's go ahead and just document what we did. So we can remove this just so we have our payload in there. And it's this one right here. Nope. Why am I backspacing, guys? I was hitting the enter key, clearly. Okay. Beautiful. So we were in, oh, whatever. We could upgrade our shell. User local bin Python. That's a weird spot for it. Okay. We have the secret tip. A wise GPT once said, in the depths of a hidden vault, the mastermind discovered that vital of their secret have vanished without a trace. They knew there was now vulnerable disruption. So I was missing two. What were they called? I actually forgot. Anyways, I need to remember them. That's important to pass back before. What's this? Is this just a tip about like how to get root? I think there's multiple flags on here, guys. What's flag 1? Where do I find flag 1? Oh, maybe that's just user flag. Oh, maybe user flag is just called flag 1. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, we have our flag 1 right there. Let's throw that in our notes. Where's boxes? You guys see boxes? Oh, there they are. There we go. LFI is pretty awesome. Pretty elite. There we go. We got flag 1. Hey. We got somewhere at least. At least I didn't spend the entire time trying to get my server-side template injection to work properly. Okay, so there's this other user. Oh, can we actually access his stuff? We have health check. We can read it. Health check is owned by root. That's interesting. And site check is owned by F30s. Okay. Permission denied on site check. All right, that's interesting. Let's take a screenshot of that. I wonder if that's going to come back up at privilege escalation. Now we're just going to perform some of our enumeration, and we'll see kind of where we get on our post-compromise. So both of those files honestly stand out to me. check some common areas. Oh, we're in a Docker container? Okay. I noticed that because the Docker environment. Let's go ahead and just take a screenshot of that. That's what I meant to do. Okay, so if we look at our environment, user aham python pip. Okay, nothing super interesting in our environment variables. Gosh, I cannot spell for the life of me. Okay, yeah, we're definitely in some type of Docker container. Okay, so we need to escape Docker. Might need to elevate our privileges first, but maybe not. I think there's like capabilities. It all depends how Docker's set up. If it's set up with like the privilege flag, it'll give us some special capabilities. We might be able to mount stuff, but I think we might need root for that. We might have to privilege escalate to root and then escape Docker. We could check out CDK, linps. Let's just try a few of these low-hanging fruit, and then we'll do some automatic scripts. Okay. Can we use the Docker flag? Nope, we can't use Docker at all. Okay. All right, let's linps it. Not change mod. What am I doing? Yeah, it does have Docker stuff. But even if it doesn't, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do linps first, and we'll look through those things. And when that doesn't, if that doesn't work, we'll use CDK, which is specifically for Docker escapes, and we'll see if there's anything there. Yo, maybe we can use the Looney Tunes exploit. Drop some 0 days on this beast. We have an interesting overlay. Overlay FS. Probably not going to be these. You know, it's kind of an older version of Ubuntu as well. Oh, did it break? Just kind of stopped. Well, my shell died. It broke. Can I just do this again? Will it give me another shell? Okay, whatever. Easy enough to get another shell. Let me begin with some basic enumeration first, honestly. So if we go to, you guys see hacking guide? Whoops, wrong thing. Not malware analysis. Hacking guide. We could do, you always do like PSPy, things like that. Sudo, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, since we're in this Docker container. We can't SSH right now. At least I don't have a password for a user, do I? I suppose I could add my own IDRSA, my public key to it, but I think that would work. None of those look interesting to me. Well, maybe XM4. I don't usually see that. Yeah, Looney Tunes might work, but I don't think that is the way they want you to do it. I think this machine came out before Looney Tunes, didn't it? I want to try it the intended path. Oh, XM4 is not one. Okay. It's CaliMax's Elite Hackers. It's Looney Tunes, dude. It's like a recent exploit. I think came off on October 4th or something for root. We can try it. Let's just try this. Well, let me go back to my basic enumeration. I can't do sudo. I don't think it's going to be path. Credential hunting. We could try to find some credentials. Shared libraries, privileged groups. I'm not in a privileged group. Well, I've been going for an hour and 30 minutes. What do I have? At least one flag. And then there's a passphrase for flag 2. So we need to get to a passphrase for flag 2. Whatever. Guys, my kids are going to be home in just a little bit. So I think I'm going to call it a day for now. And we'll come back to this next time I'm on stream. And I'll get this posted on YouTube. But at least I got one flag. Only took me like 3 hours into this box to get a single flag. But hey, at least I got something. When we pick it up next week, I'll be back on Wednesday night. We'll begin continuing our enumeration, seeing if we can find the second flag. I'm guessing what we need to do is elevate our privileges to root. And then once we're root, we should be able to escape the Docker by like mounting the host file system or something. And then once we escape the Docker, then we'll probably be able to get flag 2. But I don't know. We'll find out once I get to that point. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.